It's no secret that life after the presidency comes with its own unique set of hurdles. But Donald Trump's strategies for ensuring his safety operate on an entirely different plane. Regardless of whether you're a staunch supporter, a fierce critic, or someone who simply finds his tweets endlessly entertaining, there's one thing most can agree on. The layers of security surrounding Trump are nothing short of extraordinary. Featuring everyone from Secret Service specialists to cutting-edge technology straight out of a blockbuster spy film. We're pulling back the curtain on the incredible measures used to protect one of the most polarizing figures of our time. We're diving into all the details, starting with an in-depth look at Trump's often dramatic history with personal security. One of the most recent and arguably most alarming chapters in this saga unfolded on July 13, 2024, during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. What was supposed to be a high-energy campaign event aimed at showcasing his bid for a third Republican nomination spiraled into a moment of panic that resonated across the nation. The rally began with an electrified crowd enthusiastically waving signs and cheering, eager to soak in the former president's speech. Known for his flair for theatrics, Trump kicked things off with his signature confidence, presenting border-crossing statistics to the audience. But just moments into his address, the unimaginable occurred. Gunfire shattered the festive atmosphere, throwing the crowd into chaos. Trump, clearly shocked, instinctively reached for his right ear, where blood quickly began to appear. Secret Service agents, prepared for such emergencies, reacted instantly. They rushed onto the stage, encircling Trump and using their bodies as shields. Their rapid and precise actions demonstrated their expertise and commitment, but the situation remained highly volatile. The assailant, identified later as Thomas Matthew Crooks, had stationed himself atop a nearby building. Equipped with an AR pattern rifle, Crooks had an unobstructed view of the stage. From his position, fewer than 150 meters away, the weapon's range posed a significant threat. As gunfire continued to erupt, the crowd's confusion gave way to full-blown panic. People shrieked, ducked, and sought cover, with some throwing themselves to the ground while others desperately tried to flee to safety. Amid the turmoil, one individual lost their life while two others sustained critical injuries. The atmosphere was pure chaos, with cries for assistance ringing out as people scrambled to flee the danger. Secret Service agents concentrated on securing Trump's safety, swiftly ushering him off the stage and into his SUV, speeding him away from the chaotic scene. Despite the gravity of the events, Trump stood undaunted. While being escorted, he raised his fist in the air, a defiant gesture that was caught on camera and rapidly gained widespread attention online. On his social media platform later, Trump shared his account of the ordeal, recalling the moment he felt a bullet graze his ear and the accompanying bloodshed. His campaign team quickly reassured the public that apart from the injury, he was in good health. The FBI's investigation into the shooting determined that the assailant, a 20-year-old man from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, had acted alone. With no previous criminal background, his motives remained under scrutiny. The incident marked the gravest assassination attempt on a presidential candidate since Ronald Reagan's shooting in 1981. It highlighted the stark political divides within the United States and underscored the persistent risk of violence in the nation's current environment. In the wake of the shooting, there was an outpouring of responses from both political figures and the general public. President Joe Biden, who was Trump's electoral rival, strongly denounced the act of violence, labeling it as abhorrent and intolerable. The event prompted heightened security at political gatherings, with the Secret Service rolling out updated measures to safeguard candidates. The Trump rally shooting in Butler became another entry in a long list of episodes where Trump has faced threats and danger. In reality, this incident was far from an isolated event. It represented the culmination of years of threats and security challenges that have trailed Trump throughout his public career. From his early ventures in real estate to his tenure in the Oval Office, ensuring his safety has remained a recurring priority. But what are the financial implications of maintaining such an extensive, multi-million-dollar security framework? Certainly, here's the rewritten version. Naturally, ensuring the safety of a former president comes with a hefty price tag. But just how high is it? Let's delve into the costs tied to Trump's security. To begin with, the Secret Service has incurred significant expenses at Trump-owned properties. Based on government records obtained and studied by Crew, nearly $2 million was spent by the Secret Service at these locations. This includes approximately $1.75 million paid directly to Trump's businesses, with further documentation indicating additional thousands spent at his properties, likely pushing the grand total to around $2 million. A prominent contributor to these expenditures was Mar-a-Lago, often called the Winter White House. Data obtained through the Freedom of Information Act shows Trump's private club received over $300,000 from the Secret Service for safeguarding him and his family. During his presidency, Trump visited the Palm Beach Club an extraordinary 146 times. Notably, records indicate no expenses were logged for Mar-a-Lago until 2018. Despite Trump frequenting the estate many times in 2017, visits that reportedly led to tens of thousands in costs for the Secret Service. One report claimed it's troubling enough that Trump frequented his own properties close to 550 times during his presidency. But the real issue is that he seemingly used those trips to profit from taxpayer funds through the security detail assigned to him. A hallmark of Trump's presidency was the significant amount of time he dedicated to golfing. What's particularly notable is not just that he was on a golf course nearly 1/4 of the days he was in office, but that he primarily frequented properties branded with his own name. Most of these courses are named Trump National Golf Club, followed by the nearest city, which creates confusion in tracking records. Many expenditures are generically attributed to Trump National Golf Club without specifying the exact location, though his Doral property is often listed separately. While it's impossible to pinpoint exactly which courses he visited, records indicate the Secret Service spent over $850,000 at his golf facilities. Including additional data outside the records provided to crew, the figure likely exceeds $1 million. Moreover, the Washington Post identified that some transactions coded as payments to Mar-a-Lago appeared under the label Trump National Golf Club. This is especially significant, as a nearby course in Jupiter, Florida, shares that name, complicating the ability to determine the full scope of payments to his private estate. Similarly, accommodations at his hotels were often logged simply as Trump International Hotel, which includes the now-closed Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. The documents reveal over $400,000 in Secret Service spending at Trump hotels, though separate reports suggest the total is likely much higher. For instance, records examined by the Washington Post show that, in 2016 alone, the agency spent close to $50,000 specifically at Trump's Washington, D.C. property. These newly uncovered documents indicate there were no recorded payments to that property until February 2017. This isn't an argument against the validity of these expenses. Naturally, presidents and their families require security at all times. However, while Trump claims to be a billionaire, he was the first president in decades to withhold the release of his tax returns, leaving his true financial situation unclear. Additionally, these expenses didn't involve private residences, as Trump remained under Secret Service protection. Spending at his personal properties, which began even prior to his inauguration, persisted throughout his term. These venues were functioning hotels and resorts, meaning there was no necessity to build a Secret Service for staying there. Furthermore, Eric Trump, who, alongside his brother Don Jr., was nominally overseeing the family businesses, falsely claimed that the Secret Service was charged only for housekeeping costs. Trump deliberately chose to profit off the Secret Service's legal obligation to protect him, reportedly raking in millions. However, the damage to the integrity of the presidency far outweighed any financial gain. Let's take a moment to compare this with past presidents. Providing protection for a sitting president has always been a major expense, but Trump's security costs reach levels never seen before. For example, while Barack Obama's security spending was considerable, it did not involve transactions benefiting businesses he personally owned. The bulk of those expenses went toward travel, lodging, and logistical needs, rather than directly enriching him. Similarly, George W. Bush incurred significant security costs, particularly after leaving office due to the upkeep of his Texas ranch. Still, like Obama, none of these expenses included payments to his own enterprises. The difference is striking and prompts scrutiny over the ethical dimensions of Trump's security expenditures. A notable portion of the funds spent by the Secret Service has gone to Trump-owned properties, representing just one aspect of the overall tally. The comprehensive cost of safeguarding Trump, accounting for travel, lodging, and logistics, is estimated to surpass hundreds of millions of dollars. This figure includes the expenses associated with Air Force One usage, motorcades, and the rigorous security required for his frequent visits to his private establishments. Each journey to Mar-a-Lago reportedly came with a hefty price tag of about $3 million. Over the course of his presidency, Trump made 146 trips there, resulting in a monumental overall expense. These costs encompassed more than just housing Secret Service agents. They also included transportation for staff, equipment, and vehicles. Trump's regular travel also posed financial challenges to local economies. For example, officials in Palm Beach County calculated that every visit he made to Mar-a-Lago cost the county roughly $60,000 in security and logistical support. By the end of his term, these expenses reached into the millions, stretching local government budgets and resources. Beyond the direct financial impact, there were also indirect consequences tied to his security needs. Frequent trips led to significant disturbances for residents and businesses, as road closures and restricted airspace often caused delays and disruptions. Moreover, the financial burden of ensuring Trump's safety did not conclude after his presidency ended. Even after leaving office, Trump continues to benefit from Secret Service protection, which comes with ongoing expenses. The Secret Service remains responsible for ensuring the safety of both him and his family, and the associated costs persist. In 2021, it was revealed that roughly $30,000 was spent solely on renting golf carts to provide security at Trump's properties. This serves as just one illustration of the significant expenses linked to his protection. Additionally, during his trip to Las Vegas following the tragic mass shooting in October 2017, he stayed at his own hotel, resulting in taxpayers shouldering a $31,000 bill. For Trump's security to demand such substantial costs, it likely involves highly advanced measures. But what exactly do these security protocols entail? One of the most vital strategies employed is the use of human shielding. Secret Service agents create a physical barrier around the former president, poised to respond instantly to any potential danger. This method has repeatedly demonstrated its effectiveness, as seen when it safeguarded Richard Nixon from a hostile Latin American crowd and Ronald Reagan during an attempt on his life. The arrangement is intricately designed, with agents strategically placed to cover every possible angle, allowing them to swiftly neutralize any threat. driving tactics represent a vital aspect of the president's protection. Secret Service chauffeurs undergo intense instruction in both aggressive and defensive driving strategies. These include advanced maneuvers such as executing a three-wheel J-turn, reversing at high speeds, and safely colliding with other vehicles when necessary. This exceptional level of training ensures that, in the event of a crisis, the president can be quickly transported to safety, cementing these drivers as some of the most skilled globally. Additionally, Secret Service agents are conditioned to operate even after being shot. Training simulations involve being hit with mock bullets that leave a visible mark and cause a minor sting without inflicting serious injury. This preparation enables agents to stay focused and protective under active fire, guaranteeing the president's security. Such training is indispensable, as it equips agents to handle actual threats with calm professionalism. A critical aspect of the president's protection involves continuous observation. Since President Kennedy's assassination in 1963, the Secret Service has diligently recorded every presidential motorcade. These recordings serve as a vital resource for pinpointing threats or identifying suspects if an attack were to occur. Cameras are carefully positioned to capture every perspective, making sure no critical detail escapes notice. Scanning crowds is another indispensable task for Secret Service personnel, especially during moments of direct interaction with the public. Agents are trained to continuously monitor their surroundings for any unusual behavior, such as concealed hands or noticeable bulges under clothing. Their dark, often completely opaque, sunglasses allow them to do this discreetly, ensuring that no possible danger is overlooked. This unwavering attention to detail is essential for stopping potential close-range assaults. Planning the president's movements requires months of rigorous preparation, with agents meticulously ensuring the safety of airspace and other critical details. Routes for motorcades are meticulously planned, with low-risk hotel options chosen in advance. They also identify hospitals and secure locations along the way, prepare to treat or evacuate the president if necessary. This meticulous preparation means that virtually no presidential visit occurs without extensive planning, greatly reducing the likelihood of unexpected dangers. The president is under continuous observation, a measure that may appear intrusive but is absolutely essential for their protection. From the campaign trail to life after the presidency, security details are an unwavering presence. This constant scrutiny can be overwhelming, as illustrated by President Nixon, who opted to replace his Secret Service team with private security in 1985. Despite their constant vigilance, Secret Service agents are trained to operate in a manner that balances discretion with attentiveness, ensuring the president's safety while remaining as unobtrusive as possible. These agents are also skilled in Systema, a rigorous Russian martial art developed for military units like the KGB and Spetsnaz. The discipline focuses on mastering an attacker's body mechanics, effectively neutralizing any close-range threat to the president. With straightforward, natural maneuvers, this training allows agents to handle potential dangers swiftly and effectively. Assessing food safety is a vital component of security protocols. To guard against poisoning threats, the Secret Service meticulously oversees meal preparation whenever the president eats at non-secure venues. However, trusted locations, such as Buckingham Palace, are exempt from this scrutiny. For takeout meals, orders are placed at nearby establishments without revealing they're intended for the president, ensuring kitchen staff remain unaware and reducing the risk of tampering. Similarly, analyzing mail for threats is a detailed and advanced procedure. Handwritten letters are digitized and compared against existing records in the Secret Service's database, while printed or typed correspondence is examined through ink analysis. These meticulous techniques help investigators track down potential senders effectively. This thorough approach ensures threats are detected and addressed before reaching the president. Making threats against the president's life is treated as a grave crime, carrying penalties of up to 5 years imprisonment and a $250,000 fine. The Secret Service diligently monitors both online platforms and public areas in search of threats, which they classify into 3 distinct levels of seriousness. This proactive approach guarantees that every possible threat is investigated comprehensively, and the necessary actions are taken to address or eliminate it. Marine One, the helicopter used by the president, is outfitted with advanced anti-missile defenses, including flares, chaff, and infrared jamming technology. This helicopter operates as part of a fleet that utilizes decoy aircraft to conceal the president's exact location. Members of the HMX, one squadron responsible for operating these helicopters, must undergo intensive background checks to maintain the integrity of security protocols. These measures are in place to ensure the president's airborne travel is safeguarded by multiple layers of defense. The White House, which serves as the president's home, is equipped with a sophisticated network of infrared lasers, reinforced by a no-fly zone and surface-to-air missile systems. Nevertheless, there have been instances when security has been breached, underscoring the constant need for heightened awareness. To adapt to evolving threats, security protocols are continually enhanced, ensuring the president's residence remains among the most secure facilities on the planet. Air Force One, the president's aircraft, is a modified Boeing 747 designed for extended missions, thanks to its capability for in-flight refueling, which provides it with an almost unlimited range. The aircraft is equipped with state-of-the-art security measures, such as defenses against electromagnetic pulses and a communication system with encryption capabilities. Inside, the plane offers a lavish setup, featuring a private suite for the president, a fully equipped medical facility, and kitchens capable of preparing meals for up to 100 passengers. These features ensure that the president enjoys a secure and comfortable journey, with all essential services readily available. Meanwhile, the presidential limousine, commonly referred to as the Beast, is essentially an armored fortress on wheels. This 9,000-kilogram vehicle boasts 20-centimeter thick doors, windows resistant to gunfire, and an undercarriage fortified with steel plating. Its cabin is airtight to counter chemical attacks, while the trunk contains tear gas, shotguns, grenade launchers, oxygen supplies, night vision equipment, and an emergency reserve of blood matching the president's type. Despite its formidable design, the Beast's cumbersome handling and tendency to break down make it an infrequent presence on the road. These extraordinary layers of protection demonstrate the lengths taken to shield President Donald Trump from potential dangers. From cutting-edge technology to elite Secret Service personnel, every aspect is carefully thought out and implemented to guarantee his safety during a time of elevated risk. It also raises questions about whether similar security efforts are extended to safeguard those within the president's immediate circle, such as his family and acquaintances. The effects of Trump's security on those around him. One of the most immediate and visible consequences of Trump's security protocols is their influence on his family. Both Melania Trump and their son, Barron, have had to adjust to a life of constant monitoring and protection. In the initial months of Trump's presidency, Melania and Barron opted to stay in New York City, living in Trump Tower. This choice required an extensive security operation, which included street closures and an increased police presence around the building. People living and working in the area voiced their dissatisfaction with the disruptions, pointing to challenges in commuting and a downturn in local business due to the heightened security measures. The cost of safeguarding Trump's family also sparked controversy. Estimates from a New York police department indicated that the daily expense of securing Melania and Barron in New York ranged from $125,000 to $146,000. These costs, covered by taxpayers, ignited debates regarding the use of public funds. Additionally, Trump's security arrangements have left an imprint on his staff as well. Employees at his various properties, spanning hotels, golf courses, and resorts, have had to contend with the presence of Secret Service agents and other security personnel in their workplaces. This situation has occasionally caused friction and interruptions to everyday life. For example, there are claims that staff members at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, often felt constrained and uncomfortable due to the persistent presence of security teams during Trump's visits. The demand for tighter security protocols also meant that employees faced more rigorous background checks, adding an additional layer of complexity to their daily responsibilities. Ordinary citizens have similarly been affected by the extra precautions taken for Trump's safety. Perhaps the most noticeable impact has been on public spaces and local events, which are frequently disrupted when Trump travels. Whole sections of cities are often shut down, leading to significant traffic congestion and inconveniences for businesses and residents. A case in point is Trump's regular trips to Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach, Florida, during his presidency, which resulted in road closures and heightened security that proved aggravating to locals. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office estimated that each visit by Trump cost the county roughly $60,000 in security expenses. Additionally, protests have often been met with a strong security presence, occasionally sparking confrontations between demonstrators and law enforcement. A prominent example occurred at the 2016 Republican National Convention in Cleveland, Ohio, where thousands of protesters gathered in opposition to Trump's presidential run. In response, the city enforced strict security measures, deploying thousands of officers and creating a controlled perimeter around the event venue. This sparked numerous clashes between demonstrators and police forces, culminating in a series of arrests and injuries. Another major event unfolded during Trump's visit to the United Kingdom in 2018. The trip saw large-scale protests and heightened security protocols, including the mobilization of thousands of officers and the creation of no-fly zones over specific locations. These measures brought about road blockages and disruptions to public transit, leading to significant annoyance among commuters and local residents. It's clear that ensuring Trump's security comes at a hefty cost, often leaving the people around him to endure the consequences, whether emotional or physical. But this raises a question. How exactly do government agencies and the Secret Service step in to provide such extensive levels of security? Even though Trump is no longer a sitting president, government and Secret Service contributions, the involvement of the U.S. Secret Service in safeguarding Donald Trump, both during and after his time in office, is a sophisticated and intricate undertaking. Founded in 1865, the agency was initially tasked with addressing counterfeiting operations. However, its scope widened after the tragic assassination of President William McKinley on September 6, 1901, to include the protection of top government officials. Per federal law, outlined in 18 U.S.C. Under Statute 3056, the Secret Service is tasked with ensuring the safety of the President, Vice President, the President-elect, the Vice President-elect, and their immediate family members. This protection also covers past presidents and their spouses for the rest of their lives, unless the spouse remarries. Additionally, the children of former presidents are safeguarded up to the age of 16. The agency's responsibilities extend to securing visiting foreign officials, major candidates for the presidency and vice presidency, and certain high-ranking cabinet officials. During Donald Trump's administration, the Secret Service faced an array of unprecedented hurdles. Trump's regular trips to his private properties, including Mar-a-Lago in Florida and Trump Tower in New York City, required significant logistical planning and financial resources. The associated costs of securing these locations sparked public debates over taxpayer spending. To cover the increased expenses, the Secret Service needed supplemental funding, emphasizing the financial strain of protecting a president with numerous residences. A particularly striking example of these challenges occurred in 2017, when a woman infiltrated Mar-a-Lago by pretending to be a legitimate guest. This incident underscored vulnerabilities in the security setup and prompted a comprehensive reevaluation of the agency's protocols. The responsibilities of the Secret Service went far beyond simply safeguarding Trump at his various properties. During his administration, Trump hosted countless rallies and public gatherings, each demanding thorough preparation and detailed coordination. The Secret Service carried out in-depth site inspections in advance, worked closely with local police forces, and implemented robust security protocols to ensure the safety of both the president and attendees. One particularly alarming episode occurred at a Trump rally when a 20-year-old man from Pennsylvania made an assassination attempt. Thanks to the quick actions of the Secret Service and local authorities, disaster was averted, highlighting the constant dangers faced by those under the agency's protection. Secret Service personnel receive rigorous training to address a variety of potential threats, developing skills in advanced areas like counter-sniper strategy, bomb detection, and emergency medical intervention. They are also trained in techniques such as close-quarters combat and defensive driving. This level of preparedness is essential for safeguarding high-profile figures like Donald Trump. The history of protecting presidents is marked by narrow escapes and devastating moments, such as the assassination of John F. Kennedy and the attempt on Ronald Reagan's life. The Secret Service continuously adapts and refines its approaches, learning valuable lessons from every incident it encounters. These days, the agency relies on advanced technology to anticipate and mitigate potential dangers. This includes utilizing high-tech surveillance equipment, implementing robust cybersecurity protocols, and conducting real-time assessments of threats. The agency's protective efforts are bolstered by collaboration with several other government organizations. For instance, the Diplomatic Security Service, under the State Department, ensures the safety of the Secretary of State and foreign dignitaries. The CIA safeguards its top officials, including the director and deputy directors, while the U.S. Capitol Police focus on the security of congressional leadership. Meanwhile, the FBI and the U.S. Marshals Service protect figures such as the Attorney General, federal judges, and key witnesses. Despite various challenges and occasional controversies, the partnership between Donald Trump and the Secret Service remains grounded in mutual trust and respect. Trump's loyal private security team plays a pivotal role, coordinating closely with federal agencies to guarantee comprehensive protection. This teamwork is vital for establishing a flexible, layered security system capable of responding to any scenario. The realm of presidential protection is an intense and critical arena where each choice could determine survival or disaster. In Donald Trump's case, the collaborative work of the Secret Service, private security teams, and various government organizations forms an impressive barrier against the countless dangers he encounters. Their tireless efforts, often unnoticed and underappreciated, showcase their commitment and courage. If you like this video, be sure to explore the other great content available on our channel. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.